I'm Reverend Charles Hodges, and this is Leroy Hodges. Well, he'll tell you who he is himself.
Leroy Hodges Jr.
And we are the members of the High Rhythm section. Memphis, we were born and raised here in Memphis.
Well, I was
He was born in Arkansas.
Born in Arkansas, raised in Tennessee. It's good.
Really good, really good. For what we were doing, we started in the music kind of early, so we had a jump on everything. So we had a good life.
My father was a musician. He's a keyboard player. And I started out with him when I was in junior high school. And playing straight blues, the Muddy Water, the Howlin' Wolf, and Jimmy Reed, all of that when I was in junior high school.
My late brother Maven Teeny Hodges, he was a guitar player. He joined my dad's band later, and I wasn't, ready for it yet. But Leroy and Teeny, they had a band. They got a band together called the Impalas.
And that was high school, after we got in high school.
Yeah. That's the reason I said we had to jump on everything, because we was in high school, when we got started. I was really in elementary when I got started, because Teeny and Leroy had gotten their band together. And then my dad was upset with his band members about rehearsals. He was strict on rehearsal. So he just quit. So the members asked him if I could come and play with them. I was about 14 or 15 years old. And Dad said, Charles, they gonna be able to do it. He said, we believe he can. So he asked me if I thought I could do it. I told him, yeah. So I got with the group, about 14 years old, and that's where it started from. Oh, yeah. We just got back from Japan with Willie Hightower, Leroy and I. We went to Japan with Willie Hightower and Steve Cropper. Yeah, guitar player with former Booker T and MGs. Yeah, and we had a nice time over there.
And before that, a month before that, we was over with Carla Thomas and Venice Thomas.
Right.
It was great to see Carla again. Well, although she live here, but I don't see her that often.
Yeah. We couldn't get her to get on stage. But when they said Leroy and Charles, it was a challenge for her. She had to jump to it. Same with Steve Cropper. When he found out that we would be playing with him, he said that's something that he always wanted to do, was play with the Hodges Brothers. So it happened. Yeah. So we have some kind of way of making people wanna be a part of something. And it's just good to be a part of anything.
Well, I started out, my father had a piano in the house at all time. And I started out playing piano. And with my father's band, he had, two guitars and stuff, and they would, when they would rehearse or had a gig somewhere, then they would leave the instruments at the house. And it was a guitar player, his name was James Thomas. And he was left-handed. And when he would leave his guitar there, I would take his guitar and turn it bottom of us, like Hendrix, and I would play it, bottom up, but I would play it right hand, but it was a left hand guitar. And I started out on that, but I started out on piano.
Yeah.
And then I switched over, which in my father's band, I was playing bass, but I was playing bass on a guitar. So my dad bought me a bass, But before he did that, in high school, my science teacher had an upright bass. And with the group, before we got the group, the Impalas, together, and he had a bass, upright bass, which he brought to school, and I started out on the upright bass. That was the first bass I played.
I was 11 years old. Leroy said he had a piano at all time, but it really wasn't at all time. But he always had a piano, but our house caught on fire, and it destroyed the piano. So one while we went, a little while without a piano. But I was 11 years old when he brought a piano to the house. And I heard him when he got it in the house, he started playing it, and it just hit. I said, that's the sound I used to hear all the time. I was a little boy then. And then when he got off of it, I got on it. It didn't bother me. So I would practice on it, get on it. So one day, my mother, I was on the piano and she didn't want to hear no racket. So she asked me to get off of the piano. So I got off of it. Then she was in the kitchen cooking. And I got back on it. And she made me get off it again. So my spirit told me to just be patient. I wanted to play the piano. So I heard my dad pulling up. He used to park in the back of the house and he would come in through the back door. So I heard him when he pulled up, heard him shut the door on the truck, heard him open the door, and I got on the piano and started playing it. And my mother said, Charles, didn't I tell you get off of that piano? And my dad said, for what? So I leave him alone. I said, how is he going to learn? So that opened the door for me. She would put up with it more than she would normally do it. But my dad still didn't bother me. So one day he heard me trying to pick something out, and I was making some bad notes. So he came in the living room. He said, Charles, how did you do that? And I started trying to do it, show it. So what he did, I'm sitting here, came and got over my shoulders and moved my hand, and he started playing, showing me, what the notes were. And then he would let me play it. That's how I got started. Like I said, I got with my dad's band after he had quit, But before he quit, he was carrying me with him. I was 14 years old then. We was playing at this place up in Somerville, Tennessee called Greenville Inn. And he would play, he would get on, and by the time he felt he wanted him a drink or beer or something, he would get off, put me on the piano.
Yeah.
And then I would play. And then when it's time for him to come back, and that's how I really got into it. No, I didn't do any studying. The saxophone player in his band, the Impalas, he was a school teacher, band director at Mount Pisgah.
He was a music teacher.
A music teacher. And so when I passed to the 9th grade, that's when I went to the high school, because high school didn't go any further than the 8th grade. But that's when I met Archie Bradley. And I didn't meet him there. I wanted to get in the band. I wanted to blow baritone saxophone. Yeah. He says, okay. So he didn't have but 2 of them, and they were taken from, the older students. So he said, well, the baritone sax are taken, say, I can get you a baritone horn. I said, what does that look like? He showed me the baritone horns, looked like a baby tuba to me. I tried that. I said, no, I don't want to play that. He said, well, I can give you the tuba. He brought me the tuba. I hit on the tuba. I said, no, that's not for me. So he said, well, I tell you what, I have a little combo. After the school band go out and do concerts, he said, I need a piano player and that. I have a guitar player, a drummer, bass player and so forth. I said, I'll try that. So that's how I got in the school band as far as I went. But I didn't have to read to do that because I played by ear. And but he was my teacher, my instructor. And like the science teacher, Professor Boyd, we had a group together. And we did a lot of traveling when I was in the 9th and the 10th grade, going to different parts of Tennessee, performing on the weekend. And that just, opened the door for me. Leroy was with Willie Mitchell. Yeah, he moved to Detroit and then he moved back here and he started playing with Willie Mitchell. And I was traveling with a blues singer, O.V. Wright. Mm-hmm. And then Tenny and Leroy got together with Willie Mitchell. And when I stopped working with O.V. Wright, I got with Willie Mitchell. And then that was the three of us together at that time. And that's when history started being made. Yeah. Yeah, we over at Willie Mitchell, he just brought us to where he wanted us to be. And we got a good start at it. We were traveling on the road with Willie Mitchell. And we did a lot of road, then we turned over, had a flip over. And then we had blowout tires and all that stuff. We got we didn't want to travel anymore. So we was on our way to Macon, Georgia to perform. And we had a discussion. We all talked in the whole group, and wasn't one just made a decision. We made it together. Yeah. And we said we would just come off the road and start recording. And that's what we did. And we came up with our first gold record was Soul Serenade, Willie Mitchell, instrumental. And then we messed around and got Al Green. And then we cut with Al Green and a few more artists. We did 26 gold and platinums in a row. There was Al Green, Denise for Sale, Trapped by this thing called Love. What was his name? Get Your Life Straight. What was his name?
Bill Corday.
Bill Corday. We had a gold on him. Al Perkins was a disc jockey in Detroit. We had a gold on him. And then we cut about 5 or 6 gold and platinums in a row on Detroit Emeralds. So they numbered it out to be about 26 gold and platinums. And then I started recording at Stax in different places. Leroy and I, we did Little Milton over there, walked the back street and cried. And I did the Soul Children. I did Shirley Brown. I did Rufus Thomas, Carla Thomas. However, Rufus was on high label at one time. And I did the Soul Children. I did the Box Tops, the Barcades. I can just go on over there. And went over to Japan, did some recordings. Recorded Tony Braxton out in Houston, Texas. Ike and Tina Turner out in California. And we just. About 23 or 24 for me.
In the 20s.
In the 20s, yeah.
Because that was...
Yeah, when I started with Willie, I was about 20 to 21 years old.
Early 70s. Yeah. I remember the first hit that I can remember was on top of the On Top CD because
2075.
36 and 90. Because we did American Bandstand with Dick Clark, which out of California. Joey Bishop show.
Even did a country western show. Roy Clark, Hee Haw. We did their first anniversary. Yeah.
Wow. What did that feel like at that age to have a gold record?
Still probably never feel it.
Yeah, but see, you have to remember. Yeah. You have to remember, we had been doing this ever since high school, so we had plenty of fans. Yeah. And they had already begun to make us feel special by coming and supporting us. But when we got that first gold record, it was something to hear it, to come over the airwaves. You know, it just put you in a different bracket. I did that. I want to do another one. I want to do another one. You know, it just motivates you to you know, be greater and leave something, you know, for people to remember you by. Yeah. And then by us being brothers, it was all the sweeter for us. And I thank God that He let my mother and father live to see us record all those gold records. I was able to buy a house, buy me a car, you know, when otherwise, you know, meanwhile I was just, you know, doing the best I could, you know. But things just really changed for the better, for the good, for us to have a family.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Especially with 5 kids.
Yeah, right.
Well, it really depends.
Yeah, right.
You know, if someone called, you know, if say Al or Ann or Syl, Otis, OV, the Emeralds, you know, whoever didn't have the studio book, you know, these masqueraders might have had it, but whoever, you know, it all depends.
Yeah, we worked real good, you know, but sometimes it wasn't like every week,
Yeah.
you know. But during the time we was off, I love to play tennis. And Teeny Maven, my brother deceased, he's a guitar player. He loved tennis, so we was gonna find a tennis court. And if we started playing out at the University of Memphis, it was Memphis State at the time. And we would go out on the tennis court, but when they would have class, they would let he and I go on the inside. They had racquetball. And we learned how to play racquetball, and we were playing racquetball and vice versa. Anyone come in there, we can go back out on the tennis court. And we loved it so much out at the airport. It was a Sheraton a motel out there. And we go out at, the guy met me, and I told him who I was, and he loved our music. And he said, I tell you what I'm gonna do, saying that's supposed to be closed. He said, but show me where the light was. Said you can come out, you know, when you get out of the studio, you wanna wind down, you can come out and play, turn the lights on. But when you get done, make sure you turn the lights out and lock the door. And that was out at the airport. So we would go out there, because we was all into tennis, sure enough. And we was either on the tennis court or in the studio. As far as the turning point, I feel that we was always on point because we were together.
Right.
You know, and that was what we wanted. We were together, we worked together, we ate, we slept, we did everything together. And when we started making the gold records, I believe that is why we were so successful, because we were together. And it just motivated us, hey, let's do another one. We got one. See, because in one while, stacks, it wasn't that we was in competition, but we were rivalries, you know. And when we got our first gold record on Al Green, Tired of Being Alone, they said we wasn't gonna get another.
They said we were lucky.
They said we were lucky. They said they won't get another one. We came back and did another one. That's all they looked up on another one. We came back and got another one. The whole crew at Stax came over to Royal Studio, to High Records. They wanted to see what we were doing. They had Otis Redding, Isaac Hayes, the barcades, all of them just came in and we started working up a song because they didn't know how we were doing it. See, Booker T is a music, you know, he's deep in music. He just graduated, got his doctorate degree in music. But we would get together and we would work a song up. It's okay, let's cut it. Just like that. No, we didn't rehearse, no such thing as rehearsing, just like we're doing it here. We come in and work the song up. And when we did that, they jumped up. Rush started the studio, went back over to Stax. And like I say again, after they said we had looked up on that first and second one, we did 26, 27 in a row. Well, yeah, Memphis. Memphis has always been a music city. Had some good musicians over at American Studio at Stax. That was just what we did. You know, Memphis loved music, and music loved Memphis. It drew people from all around the world to record. Leroy and I, we've recorded people from all around the world. They come to just record at our Raw studio.
It's great. The experience is great. It's better. It's better. Technology-wise, it is much better.
Yeah, it is. It is much better. But me, myself, I preferred it back the way we did it in the older days. But and today, the way we do it is more convenient and more quicker. And since I have to live in it, I have to do it like that. I don't have any complaints about it. Yeah, I enjoy it. I have what you call a music room. I have the grand piano. I have electric grand 88 Yamaha. I have a Casio keyboard. I have a Yamaha keyboard. I have the Hammond XB2 organ. They have the cabinet there. And at some point, sometime I get them all. But on the average, I'm sitting around at least 3 to 4 keyboards, you know. And I write. I write more gospel, you know. I recorded 2 gospel CDs. I did one with he and my brother Tini, with our rhythm, and then I did another one with some church musicians, you know. And they came out great. But I do all my writing on keyboard or piano. I can say my greatest time in this business was when we were nominated for a Grammy. We cut a double artist album, Robert Cree and High Rhythm, and that carried us to New York for the Grammy. And I really enjoyed it, but I loved traveling. And one while I did something like 31 countries on a one tour with Albert Collins. He wasn't with us, but it was Teeny. And Maven, we cut his album called Iceman. And we traveled in out of all those travels, those countries. My favorite one was Brazil. I love Brazil. I would like to live there because they have all the ancient temples and stuff carved in mountains and stuff. And I'm a minister. I'm a preacher. I'm an ordained minister for 20 years, and I just love, you know, that. So I love traveling, you know, in the music business, and I love our achievements, you know, that we've accomplished. We were nominated by the Americana Instrumental Lifetime Achievement Award.
Nashville.
Yeah, we got that one, and we have signs on Beale Street notes, you know, And we're in the Memphis Blues Hall of Fame, and we have some nice accolades. You know, we've been recognized. Not knowing what kind of instrument I'm going to have when I get to where I'm going, what kind of condition, what kind of shape it's going to be in.
Yeah.
That's my least favorite. I ran up on some good organs and some not so good, and sometimes I didn't even get one. I had to get a keyboard. You know, and I just like the Hammond B3 organ.
You run up on those because every room sounds different.
You're right.
Every room, they're not gonna sound the same. And all those sound crews
Are different.
they're different. You're gonna get something different. So be prepared.
Right.
Be prepared. You might be good last night, and the night might be worse, and vice versa.
I just keep on walking.
I hear it all the time in the airport.
Yeah, it sounds nice. You love to hear yourself.
Yeah.
But I don't be looking around and say, hey, that's me or whatever. You know, I just hear it and just keep on walking.
Did you ever see that documentary on Motown, Standing in the Shadow of Motown?
I haven't yet. No.
You haven't seen it, okay.
Is it on?
That what you just made that statement was Robert White, the guitar player. Him and the producer of that movie was in a restaurant eating, and My Girl came on, and the waiter came over to him finna take his order, and it was playing, and he said Robert started to tell him, say, hey man, this is and he cut it out and said, I just give me this barbecue chicken. And when the waiter left, he said, Robert, you was finna tell him that was you playing that. Yeah, he said, we would think this old food, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Just keep on walking.
Yeah, keep on going. You
Keep
know.
on walking. And then sometimes people know you. You know you, and they gonna come to you and say, this is the greatest organ player in the world right here, the best bass player. You know, this is Leroy Hodges. He played behind all the Al Green records. You know, the people that know you, they'll let people know.
Listen. Listen.
It's the main
That's the
one.
main
Right
thing.
there.
Listen.
Listen.
You know.
And be a team player.
Yeah.
A team player. It's not about no one person. You should make the bass player better. Bass player should be trying to make the drummer, however, you want to play it together. And my thing is, number one thing, learn the story behind the record, what you're getting ready to do. That's the most important thing if you're going to record. Learn the story and then try to play in the mood of the story. Stay in the realm of it.
And every musician on every session has a lane. You must stay in your lane.
Right. Well, you don't try to play what the bass players play.
Yeah, you got a lane. It's just like on the
You
freeway.
learn the line. Yeah.
You got a lane. Stay in.
Yeah.
If somebody in this lane, you can't get over there when he's already there.
Yeah. You gotta be conscientious about what's going on around you.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're gonna play team.
Yeah.
You got to know what the guitar player's doing, what the piano player, what the drummer, what the bass player, what the organ player, and stay in your lane. Don't go crowding. Stay in your lane. It's plenty of room for everybody.
Right.
There's plenty of room for everybody. But that's something you have to learn and you have to
the
practice.
time.
Yeah.
Time. Yeah. Because there's certain things that you can play, say, on stage or live somewhere, that you can't do it in the
You can't do
studio.
it in the studio. It's two different musicians.
Yeah.
Well, it can be two. Everyone that play on stage is not a recording artist. Everyone that record is not a stage player. What you're gonna do in the studio has got to be short and sweet. It's got to say something.
Yeah.
It's got to say something. And then when you're on the stage, it can be the same song, but you can be flashy with it.
Yeah.
You got that feel.
You have to have that feel. You have to have the feel. It's like, for instance, the way I played Love and Happiness on a record, I couldn't do it the way I do it on stage because Willie would say, "You playing too much." See, but I'm playing the same song, but you're playing too much. So you have to know where your limit is and stay in your limit. Again, like you said, stay in your lane. But on the stage, you could even up the tempo. If it was 1, 2, 3, 4, you could say 1, 2, 3, 4. See, the tempo has changed, so therefore you can change. You know, you really don't want to play a song the same tempo as you did on the record because now it's a live performance. And you got your audience and they're feeding off of it and they're cheering and beckoning you on, and you got to give them something. First thing I want to do is learn the story. I want to know what you're getting ready to sing about. Who are you singing about? What's going on in me? And then that's how I do mine. I don't do too much chart readings. I have, but I do not like it. I want to learn the song. I want to learn the story, and then I can project myself into it.
I usually want the chart. Yeah. Yeah. Give me the chart.
Yeah, see, Tina.
I would much rather have the chart.
Yeah, now Tina was the same way. My other brother, they liked the charts, but sometimes I'd have to use the chart because of the changes. So many changes, you know. But when I can learn the story, that's when I'll show up. If I can learn the story. And then I can play all the little other things that I want, you know. And I like it better without the chart. And then I have a good reason to, for one, I can't see too good. And then another thing, what'll happen if a wind come up and blow the chart away? So I used to mess with them all the time like that. Man, what are you gonna do, man, if we out performing and you got a chart and a wind come up? What are you gonna do then? So now I'm telling you, I'm gonna say it because we're here right now. He liked charts, but I haven't heard a nail time ask for a chart today. And he played it perfectly.
See, I asked for what he said he didn't have.
Yeah,
First.
but now you have to exercise. See, I didn't hear that, but I'm just looking at what I saw. I didn't see him with no pencil or a paper or anything, and he played the song, you know, and that's what I be wanting to see him do. But it's nothing against his chops, because like I said, I have to use them sometime myself. But I just feel that you can put more into a song if you know the song than you can if you sit up there trying to read it. I would say to myself, I proposed it to my father when I was growing up. I wanted to read music, but I had gone so far with it. My dad suggested Said it'll probably mess your ear up. So you can hear anything and you can play it. So he said, now if you want to go, you want me to find you someone, to teach you the music, I'll do that. He said, but I wouldn't suggest it. So I stayed at my dad's word. And then I don't hate it. I love it the way I did it, but I still feel if I could read music, I would, could have probably, carried it a little further. That's the only thing.
Well, my biggest was that I wasn't able to take music in high school. Because like I said, it came my last year of high school. That was I wish I could have. But that's in the past. So.
You did okay. You got it.
And that's what I was getting ready to say. See how good God is?
Yeah.
You have a lot of people can read music, have never accomplished what we have accomplished, and we don't read it. Know your business, know what you're getting into, read your contract. If you can't read them and understand them, go get your attorney, let them read them and get an understanding as to what's going on. Don't rush into something because you love music. Know the business.
Yeah. If you're gonna be in business, know what you're doing, music wise. If you can't just do it and not know what you're doing, because it's an evil world out here.
Yes, sir. People take advantage of you.
Guarantee you it is. But it's beautiful,
First of all, you need to realize that you don't know everything. And if it's more than one person involved in what you're doing, you need to make sure that we are going to do it, make the agreement to do it the same way. Because if you don't do that, then it's going to be chaotic.
and have an open mind.
Open mind.
Simple.
Open mind. But the main thing is,